there, Toby. Hope you're having a great day today. Oh, no, you're not having a great day. You're sick. Hope you're feeling better. It's your video lesson for today. 3 things I want to talk about. And as usual, if you want me to look at anything or have any questions at the end of this, feel free to shoot them on over and I'll do my best to answer. So cool. Like I said, I hope you're going to feel better. Thanks for sending the video over. You looked like you were on death's door. Don't look that bad. It looks like you're just trying to get through the day. And thank you for saying that over. I think you said it wasn't your best take, but it was kind of like that's what it's going to be today. So, but like I said, awesome work regardless. I love the tone. You dial in that kind of Nirvana sound. Like I said before, he's using kind of like a if I had to kind of pick just a general sound, I would say the Boss DS1, which I talked about in the last video, and then like some sort of chorus for the clean section for the little mini bar. Right, so there you just click a chorus pedal on. We can talk more about how choruses work and how they're different than other modulation effects. So basically what chorus is, it's under the category of modulation effect. We're modulating the sound. It's not distorting the sound. It's not doing a time effect like a delay pedal or a reverb effect like a reverb pedal. Modulation is kind of a big topic. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of do it. But chorus is being one of them, like vibrato being another. And like I said, we can talk next time about what makes chorus an interesting effect and how it differs from other modulation effects like a univibe, or like I said, the tremolo pedal or the vibrato pedal. All fun things to play with, and they're all very similar, I guess you could say, with like what's happening to the sound, but we'll talk more later. So first thing is, like I said, awesome too on memorizing the song. You see you have it all up here in your noggin, and it looks like if you're maybe feeling a bit more up to snuff, that rhythm I think would be a little bit tighter, but I think you were just kind of like, I think you had crawled from the bed into your office and then recorded some stuff for me, and I think crawled straight back. So as far as your rhythm going for day, it wasn't too bad, all things considered. Actually, the thing I'm going to say to practice is the thing that I always have to tell myself to practice all the time is not the main riff, like the right, not necessarily that, but it's getting into other stuff, right? Because this isn't too bad once you kind of get it going, once you learn it. Without dropping the beat. So what we want to practice are transitions from one section to the next. And I don't recommend doing it this way. So what I did was I played the full complete A section and then I went into the B section, into the verse of the song. And so that might be something you practice at the very end. Once you get all the parts down, you practice the transitions, is trying to run the whole song. But I wouldn't try to run the whole thing, the entire riff, and then going to the next riff. What I would do is practice the leap from the last thing in the last part to the first thing in the next part, in the new part. So that being, so I might start from here, from the C#5 power chord, or D5, depending on what we're calling it today. So what I'm doing is I'm practicing that leap, because if you kind of go for it, it feels like you're kind of throwing your hand out into midair and like praying to God that you land on the correct fret. And what you can do is you slow that down. Eyes on where you're going. Move. Eyes where you are, eyes where you're going to be. I'm looking over here into the little half bar pyramid finger with my finger pointing back at myself. If someone can sit there and listen to you practice, you're not practicing, you're playing the guitar. And practicing and playing are two different things. It's going to be my tombstone. I say it every day, all day. If I said it to you 1,000,000 times, and my teacher said it to me 1,000 million times. Okay. So we have the last chord here, the C#5. Look where I'm going, practice. And the transition can be out of time. So I just did this. I'm just moving my hand down here to the first fret and playing that. I'm just getting used to the how far you have to go with my arm, right? I'm kind of sizing up the distance I have to move. Right? Same thing with repeating the riff. So say if you're having trouble getting back to the main, I'll practice going from the last chord back into the first chord of the main riff, and then going from here, and then from this part right here, going from the, and then going. That actually might be something to practice right there, doing it from the C#. Oh, because it's back in the verse. verse of the song, or the main riff. So really those leaps, and then the other part. See, all these leaps are basically coming off of, or this here, of the G5 or A flat 5, off the D flat 5. So you practice here, and then looking always where you're going and feeling your arm move out to the next thing. If you're dragging a little bit, sometimes it feels like you're going like, your arm didn't go far enough, but your hand did, right? Make sure everything is moving the correct distance. And doing that slow is the best way to go about that. Making sure you're opening everything up and landing. Right? Other practice approach is called fragmentation. Where are the difficult chord changes? And then isolate those. So for you, it might be going from, so maybe you're already doing this, maybe practicing just going real slow. Make sure all the mechanics are there. This is what's called pre-metrical practice, where I'm taking things that I'm going to do and I take them out of time and practice just the movement of getting from one thing to the next. So not coming in with the expectation, like, I'm going to play this riff, I'm going to play it slow, but I'm going to play the riff. I might practice, seriously, I do this I did earlier today. I can't remember what the chord change was off the top of my head, but it was something like where I played this chord to like, I think it was like that or something. And I practiced is this. Oh no, that's what it was. It was the, a little bit of Bach. So I practiced that going from landing that chord. Like, my practice is not exciting. My wife can attest to it. That is sometimes monotonous and boring. But that's kind of the name of the game. Players who can do the monotonous, boring stuff get to play the cool stuff in the end because they spent the time on the boring and stuff that no one else wants to do. So as this part might be difficult, just take it at a time. Can I do it consistently without without my hand going all wonky, right? Then the leap, can I go here? Look where you're gonna be. Look where you're gonna be. Look where you're gonna be. And then hands should move all as one. So it shouldn't feel like you're like struggling to get, it shouldn't feel like you're struggling to like land on the correct frets, what I'm getting at. And then once you get that down, then you put it into time. First difficult thing. And then, so the dreams of like sitting back in your room and just shredding, like a lot of the practice doesn't look like that, at least in my world. Like I said, the practice might be something like this for, and just like, can I get the right chord shape to fall in my hands? If you try to go for it all the time, you're not practicing your playing. Awesome. So work on that for me. So practice in motives. What I mean by that is practice gestures. So once you get the transitions down, then you practice motives or gestures. That's a motive or a gesture. It's a connected idea. And then you can even take those things and turn them into little etudes. Right? And the next thing is, point number 3 is the G5 to D5 switch. I cannot stress how much you should be practicing this right now. It's the hardest of the open chord or the open power chord transitions that you need to work on. It is peppered all over rock and roll. You can't get away from it. And the more you practice it now, the easier time for the tunes that we're gonna do that use that in there. I hope that made sense. So we have G, same thing, just making sure everything's moving right where it should, and then you put in the time. The most important thing, keep that ring finger down where you're doing that. Other thing I wanted to talk about too is bar chord exercises. I have a ton of bar chord exercises just because it's such a difficult technique. And we need to spend a lot of time working on it. This one here is the first finger extension technique, which helps aid the development of the strength to do the bar. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here to a G5 power chord right here on the 6th string. I was doing the first finger and third finger. I'm not doing this one yet right here. You know you could if you wanted to, but keeping it simple now. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep my ring finger tall. I'm gonna reach for the 2nd fret. I'm lifting and I'm placing while keeping this guy tall. I'm trying to avoid that. Here, reach. I'm just keeping that ring finger nice and tall. I'm not doing this. Right, I'm not scooching it this way to make it. Lift and reach. Back again. You hear this a lot in alt rock. The most famous one I can think of off the top of my head is this one. There. That one there, 1979, has that example in there. But for you, lift and reach. And that's gonna help strengthen up your pointer finger right here. That way your bars will get much easier to play. Like I said, I have a large assortment of bar chord exercises, this being one of them. So work on that one this week. Awesome, man, do that for me. Like I said, if you want to look at anything, shoot on over. If not, I will catch you next week. Take care.